Oh, hi, hello. I was, I was waving at bananas, and then you were waving for me to come in, but I was waving at her, and then I looked at you waving. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not waving at you. I'm waving at my dog over there. She's looking at me, and you were like, we're gonna go. And I'm like, okay, give me 1 second. All right, bye. And then here we are. Hi. Move my camera. Let's see. Is it gonna cause too many problems? No, no. Oh boy. There we are. Right. Hey. Oh, fun. Um. Hi everybody, how are you? Are you just using the Zoom, I guess? Is that why is it connected to Zoom? I'm good. I've been working all day on my new game show that you guys should check out. It just went live on YouTube. It's called What Is It You Do Exactly? I do it with my friends, Lisa Romanelli and Bob Gurnett and John Flynn and more. And it's a game show where we have guests on and we try to come up with we have guests who have like very interesting fun jobs, and then we kind of guess what their job is. We don't know what their job is going in, and it's a lot of fun. If you have an interesting job or know someone who's like a really interesting job, message me. My Twitter's somewhere on over here, and yeah, let me know. And how we doing over there? You good? Yeah, Josh? No. All right. Well, no. Is it the desktop mic? Is it picking up the desktop? No. All right. Well, what else is going on? I'm working on a real dumb thing right now again for my YouTube channel because it's all I do. It's
I think yes. Okay,
oh,
I've got it working. For whatever reason, it
you
was
figured it out.
not. Yeah, for I don't know what was the problem, but it's working now. It seems to be picking up my mic.
Great.
Great. Hello,
Hi
everybody.
everybody.
I'm gonna just open my refreshments. Some.
Oh, I got my refreshments right here. What's that?
It's a blueberry Red Bull.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
stir. I'm gonna need the energy tonight. Not for this,
You want
but
to get
like
out?
I'm staying up later than
Get out.
I have lately.
What, really? Because the other day you kept me up until 4 in the morning. So
When?
like 2 days ago, Tuesday night.
Oh well, I almost fell asleep at like 7:30 p.m. last night, and I want to make sure I can make it through tonight. But hello everybody.
Oh, is that why we started earlier?
A little bit, yeah. I have something at 8, but it's not immediately at 8. It's like 8, and I can access the thing for 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
But hello everybody. We are here. We out here pitching prequels. Pitching preaks.
Yeah.
I always love pitching
Yeah,
preaks. What
this is
about you?
exciting. I'm ready to pitch some prequels.
Yeah,
I Yeah, I'm excited for this. I've been looking forward to it.
same.
This is gonna be a fun one. I feel like prequels are a scourge on humanity. I don't like them. I don't like many prequels. I think there's one good prequel, right? That we all agree that's a good prequel is um Godfather Part 2, and that's it.
Is that a prequel?
So,
I haven't
have you never
seen
seen it?
any of the Godfathers.
Yeah, it's half of it is a prequel.
All right. Cool.
It's half the movie is the linear story of Michael Corleone, and then the other half is a flashback to his father coming to America.
I'm going to look up movie
Yeah,
prequels real
what are
quick
you looking
and
at some prequels?
yeah, let's see if there's any other good
Yeah,
ones.
the Star Wars prequels I don't care for.
I
Um,
mean, no, it's more of a reboot than a prequel. I was about to say the
what?
newer Planet of the Apes movies aren't bad, but those are
Yeah, those aren't
technically,
technically prequels.
yeah,
They are, yeah, they are prequels, I
but
guess.
they're remakes.
Yeah, you know what? They're reboots. They're reboots, but they're prequels.
Yeah,
Like the thing is, like you know why I would say they're prequels is because they're dead in the water. They're not making more of those. You
yeah,
know.
that's true.
So we have a very good trilogy of prequels. I think the first Planet of the Apes was it Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, right? It goes Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of Planet of the Apes, or am I?
Of
I
the
got that backwards.
original,
You want to
the
come in
original
now? Get in.
five,
No, the remakes. It's Dawn
I
of the
think
Planet of the
it's, I
Apes,
think it's,
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I think Rise is first, and then it's Dawn. I think. I don't know.
Well, you have it right in
Anyways,
front
I
of you.
like
Look,
all three
look
of them.
what.
Oh, I do have it right in front of me.
Hey,
Uh,
yeah, you have it right in front of you.
it's actually showing me the. I'm on the Wikipedia for prequels, and it's showing me the original series. The first one in the newer
Well, the original
series,
series. Well, the original one, the original series
the
was
third,
they
fourth,
were
and fifth
prequels
were all
too. Like after I
prequels.
think the third one.
Yeah,
Well,
the third
it's
one's
weird
the one
because
where
they're
it goes
sequel
back to
prequels.
the first time. Because the second one ends with a nuclear explosion, and
Yeah,
that
and then
sends
the third one
Cornelius
starts
back in time.
off. Well, the third one also starts off with the third one starts off with Cornelius getting into like the thing to shoot him back in time,
Yeah,
but he doesn't realize he's getting shot back in time.
yeah,
And then it turns out that he gets shot back in time. Then he's just in L.A. and then or San Francisco. I think it's San Francisco.
yeah. It.
But
I wish it
yeah,
was
it's
Manhattan, and then it could have been Apes Take Manhattan. So the
yeah. Well,
first one
they didn't
of
do
the
that.
newer ones is Rise, and then Dawn, and then War.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they're good. I like those movies.
I do too.
Um, what other prequels do they have on that list?
I mean, the newer Star Trek
Obviously, the Star
series,
Wars one. The
Star
newer Star Trek
Wars.
is
Yeah,
well, no, the newer Star Trek I wouldn't even consider a
it's
prequel
also
because
a
technically it
reboot,
takes
but
place in a different.
it's a
It's a
different
reboot and takes place
universe.
in a different universe.
Yes.
You know. Um.
The Star Wars ones, Kong Skull Island, is a prequel to
See
Godzilla. Technically,
that's a reboot.
it is, but it's also a
God's.
prequel to Godzilla 2014.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. You know what? Yeah, then yeah, it
Technically,
is a prequel. Technically, it
um,
is a prequel, and I like Kong Skull Island.
The Good,
The
the
new
Bad, and the
one
Ugly
looks
is a
fucking
prequel.
stupid, right?
It does, yeah, very much.
Is it really?
Yeah, apparently it's a prequel to Fistful of Dollars.
Huh. Okay.
I've only ever seen The Good,
Interesting.
the Bad, and the Ugly.
I haven't seen either of those.
It's good. Wonder Woman's a prequel to Man of Steel, and the other
Oh, Wonder
movies
Woman
in there.
sucked though.
It did, both of them.
Both of
Um,
them are not good movies. I think people are letting it go because all those DC movies are bad. And yes, it is definitely better than Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, but it's still so much worse than, in my opinion, Shazam and Aquaman. I like Aquaman more than I liked what the first Wonder Woman movie. I just, you know what it is? I think the set pieces were cool. The second Wonder Woman movie is awful, but the first Wonder Woman movie I think is this cool. Like it has cool moments in it, but for me, it goes down the fact I think Gal Gadot is such a bad actress.
I
She
agree.
ruins every scene she's in.
She does.
She's such a bad actress. I think everything else in that movie sort of works for me. It's interesting. Another thing too, you know, it's another prequel if we're counting Wonder Woman is Captain America: First Avenger.
That's fair. Yeah,
You know,
it is.
it did happen. It did happen after
Canonically,
Iron Man. I mean, no, I mean like the movie
yeah.
happens before all those movies, but it came out after Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, and Iron Man 2.
Hmm.
So there's four movies that came before it. And then, you know, it ends in that universe. So I would count that as a prequel. Mm.
I think that's fair.
Technically,
I don't
see,
agree.
now we're just counting movies that I mean, Captain Marvel then is like a prequel
We have to get rid of
because,
we have to discount superhero movies because there's so many like that. Sorry for the constant changing
yeah.
of colors on my face. Normally I have the normal like stream open, but then when I open Google, it's
Yeah.
just a white blank screen, so it just casts white light on my face
Like a monster.
like a
All
monster.
right. Let's start. So our first one we're doing,
Yeah, first
right?
one.
Are we changing the screen yet? Is the screen changed?
It's changing right now. It's changed.
Whoa!
Crazy. So I think we're gonna
Uh,
start off with your. So this prequel idea, for everyone who doesn't know, started off because Willy Wonka was in the news recently because they announced they're making a Willy Wonka prequel, and people are doing fan casts of who should play young Willy Wonka. And we have opinions.
Can you put? Yeah, we have opinions. So the fan cast that everyone's saying, not my cast, is everyone. Everyone immediately was just like Timothy Chalamet or Tom Holland. Both choices I think are terrible.
I agree.
Terrible choices. I listen, I like Tom Holland a lot. I can't like anytime anyone's like, we're gonna cast Hitler. Oh, Tom Holland can play Hitler. Like, it's just stop casting him in everything. First off, he's one man. He can't do it all. Secondly, I think you know what? He's really good at what he does, but he doesn't work for every role. I think he's a terrible idea for Wonka. Like a really bad idea. Same thing with Timothy Chalamet. Like I think I love him in things, but oh my god, is he a bad choice for Willy Wonka? I think he's a better choice than Tom Holland, if I'm being honest.
I would love to see
Um,
Timothy Chalamet with the caveat that he doesn't make chocolate; he makes peach rings, those little peach candies, and that's the only thing he can make. And that's the only way I would
yeah.
accept Timothy Chalamet as Wonka. As a
Okay.
little "Call Me by Your Name" joke for
Every time.
everybody. So Patrick
No,
is.
I got it.
I know you got it. It's for the
So can we?
audience.
Yeah, can we start with my title?
Yeah, let's start with your title.
So can you have my title come up when
Yeah.
I say it? So my title of my prequel is The Splendidly Wondrous Adventures of Willy Wonka. Um, I want this to be so it's a prequel. It's gonna be
I
set.
I will say I do have
Um,
Wondrous World here.
oh, Wondrous World. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I like World. I mean, Adventures is good, but I like World because it's got the W
No, this was
alliteration.
the first draft. I fixed it and I just didn't change it. So it's the splendorous, wondrous. It's the splendidly wondrous world of Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. So this is a prequel. It's set during World War One. Willy Wonka is he's going to be a adventurer kind of thing. He's joined the British Army, and then he gets trapped in this small little island, and that's where he meets the Oompa Loompas. And it's his adventure of like he always wants to be. He came like it's the rags to riches story. He came for nothing, but then he becomes an adventurer, and he finds different like candy combinations and like flavors and all that stuff. This will be directed by, in my mind, Lord and Miller, who gave us
Ooh.
some wonderful work with
Yeah.
um and this is the other big thing, and I think this is important. It's animated.
That's a good choice.
It's animated in the style of stop motion. So it's animated CGI, but kind of like how they did Lego Movie and it looks like stop motion.
Hmm.
This looks stop motion. Um uh but yeah, this is you know what? I changed it. It's not Lord and Miller anymore. It's Leica. Leica's doing it. It is stop motion. I've changed my mind.
Like is good. It's a good
So it's gonna
choice.
be stop motion Leica. And then Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka will be voiced by Lakeith Stanfield.
Okay.
I think Willie. I think so. Here's my thing going into this was like I was really trying to find someone who matches the energy and the magic of Gene Wilder. And this is my big issue with Tom Holland as Willy Wonka is because there's such a beautiful quietness to Gene Wilder's performance in anything. Gene Wilder really knows how to just kind of like let the room build itself, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I went with Lakeith Stanfield, because I feel Lakeith Stanfield has that energy of just, you know, like kind of like letting the moments wash over him visibly on camera. And I feel like that's what would really work with this. Like it's supposed to be like wondrous, all this, and then vocally, I just feel like yeah, it would be great. I think Lakeith Stanfield would be great. And again, it would be like this Leica animates, and I think Leica does incredible stuff. I think to like the magic of like Kubo or the magic of Missing Link is a big one too. Like I don't think Missing Link's a perfect movie, but just that style of adventure, and of course Paranorman, which I think is their best work. But
I agree.
yeah, so I went with the the splendidly wondrous world of Willy Wonka, starring Lakeith Stanfield, created by Leica Studios. What do people? Is anyone saying anything in the comments? Is anyone got any comments about this?
No comments yet. But I mean, I
All right.
assume they're going to be seeing it very positively because it's a very good idea. I'm on board. I'd buy a ticket to that, especially with Leica at the helm. Like honestly, you had
Yeah.
me already.
What's
You
your
have
what's
me
your
day one with Leica.
yeah? And what are your thoughts on Lakeith?
I mean, I love Lakeith. I am curious: is Lakeith So is your Willy Wonka going to look like a cartoon Gene Wilder, voiced by Lakeith Stanfield? Or not cartoon,
No,
but claymation?
he's gonna look closer to the Quentin Beck drawings, Quentin Blake drawings
Okay, I
of
was thinking Quentin Beck. I was like, okay, illustrations of Mysterio. Lakeith
no.
Stanfield would have
It's
been a
gonna be
great Mysterio, I will say.
he would have been a great Mysterio. No, we're not doing Spider-Man villains today. That's another episode. We're doing the Willy Wonka. All right, we're doing our little Willy Wonka.
Little Wonka boy.
Little Wonka boy. Yeah, I would say no. It's gonna look like I would like the animation to look closer to Quentin Blake because Quentin Blake too, like growing up, was one of my favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
He did all the illustrations for the Wonka books. I mean, the Roald Dahl books in general. I really feel like it's crazy that we've never seen a movie that matches his style of art, and I really want like that's why I feel Leica would be perfect because Leica does stringy, wispy characters really well.
They do,
you know?
yeah. I'd really love to
Yeah.
see them do Candy also. Like, especially if they're in
Yeah.
the factory and you see, like, a conveyor belt or a line of things being made with, like, taffy and...
Mhm.
Oh, man. That sounds good. All right.
All right, what's your idea?
My pitch is for a movie that I am calling... Let me pull up the title here. That I am calling Wonka Everlasting. It's a little play on Everlasting Gobstoppers. So
I thought you were doing. I thought it was a play on Tuck Everlasting.
It could be a play on that too. It's a multifaceted.
That's why I immediately went like, oh, it's gonna be a. Yeah.
It's gonna be a what? What did you think?
A teen romance.
You're not correct. It's so Wonka Everlasting is the story of for the first chunk of it, a young Wonka. And I've written a small pitch here that all of my pitches today, you'll notice, are written as bullet points, but are basically just the first arc of the film or the first act.
Okay.
So the main character is young Wilhelmina Wonka. Wilhelmina Wonka grew up knowing good flavor as the daughter of popular local confectioner William Willy Wonka, played by Danny Glover.
Wonderful.
Thank you for the follow, Dr. Lisa Rogers.
Lisa's watching.
Yeah, I didn't know she was a
Yay,
doctor,
hello.
but hello, Lisa. So I was very confused because literally as the image
She's a
faded
doctorate
in.
in math.
Oh, good. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for you. As the image of Danny Glover faded in, it popped up with that.
Mhm.
And I was just like, wait, hold on. Why does it say Dr. Lisa Rogers? So, Wonka Everlasting, my concept is Willy Wonka is an old confectioner who lives in Louisiana with his daughter, Wilhelmina Wonka. And he's always stressed over every detail of his craft. At one point, crafting a wedding cake so detailed that the ring on the finger of the bride and groom is a fully formed cupcake that you need a magnifying glass to see in detail. Wilhelmina and Willy live in Louisiana and attend the Mardi Gras Festival each year, and each year, Willy's rival, Arthur Worthington, played by Andy Serkis,
No! Fuck!
keeps trying to one-up him with some grand cake. Arthur has never won, but he always tries to. Wilhelmina suggests they fill Worthington's shop with slugs to sabotage his next big project, but Willy stresses the importance of honest work. Did you caught my subtle reference?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh,
I love it.
Willy gets a request to make a mysterious request from an unknown patron, requesting to have him bake a dark, rich chocolate cake from cocoa beans found only in a place called Loompa Land, deep in the jungle. He leaves to find the beans and never returns. And then we do a time jump. Cut forward many years, and Wilhelmina Wonka is now running the shop, her dad having never returned from the jungle. The shop is doing poorly and she might have to sell it, since despite her talent, she never had the craftsmanship her father had. One day, she gets a letter in the mail that seems to be from Loompa Land, and she suspects it may be from her father and races off to rescue and find him. The course of the movie is a bunch of kooky adventures throughout Loompa Land as she encounters the Oompa Loompas, who are not played by people, but are CGI creatures that are somewhat like small alien chimps design-wise. So they're like cute little creatures, but they're clearly not humans that were demoralizing. The jungle ends up not being all that dangerous after all. It's mostly they're kind of like minions. There's a monkey creature I'm trying to remember the movie from, but it's like a little monkey alien. They're like Stitch kind of, but orange. The jungle ends up not being that dangerous. It's just a weird place full of confusing labyrinth movie style puzzles, mostly related to candy. And my Wilhelmina Wonka, as the adult version looking for her father, is Keke Palmer. I love Keke Palmer so much.
Okay.
This image, she has like beautiful curly reddish hair. She's a singer. This is a musical, like the original, of course. What you seem to have been very on board until Keke Palmer. Can you tell me more?
I don't like Keke Palmer. I don't like her. I don't think she's very good in things. I think she's bad.
What have you seen her in
she's
besides?
Bad in things and she's an idiot.
What have you? One, she's not an idiot. She just does not know that man. Two,
I do not know this man. I apologize to this man. The man
she's not an idiot. She's an icon.
Genocide.
She's an icon.
I don't know what I know her from.
Dr. Lisa Rogers is saying "Yas Queen" in the chat. She says,
she's wrong.
She also says hello.
Hustlers, which she was in Hustlers, which I don't care for.
She wasn't the star in Hustlers. She was like a small bit role, but she is the one that I was paying attention to.
Her from anything.
She was in True Jackson VP, so she knows how to play like kooky silliness. I never saw. Sure, but it's Disney original
I was
show.
An adult man.
Okay, well, I was a senior in high school and I watched it, but she is a actress who is very talented and she's very good at singing as well, and she played like silly goofy concepts before on True Jackson VP. Dr. Lisa Rogers says, what about Chloe or Hallie? Chloe or Hallie, I don't know who they are.
I like that. Honestly, I like that better. I think they're better actresses.
I don't know who they are. And also, you literally just said you've only seen Hustlers. And you don't remember who she was in Hustlers.
Because everything else she's done is... Actually, that's not true. Because I've seen the Ice Age movies where she plays Peaches. And I don't remember her in those. And yeah, she hasn't really been in anything else that I would watch, you know?
I'll have to introduce you.
She was in Scream Queens, which I did not see.
She was great in it. She was also
I guess I only know her
Scream
from memes.
Season 3.
And I only know her from memes, and I don't love her from memes. In the memes, I don't look at her and go, well, there's someone who's not a fucking idiot, so.
Fair enough. We'll just have to agree to disagree. But let's move on to your next pick. Your next movie.
We're to go. Well, let me give you some more. I want to talk more about that. I love your idea.
Okay, thank you.
So would when she goes to find, she doesn't find her father, but does she find like her brother or something like that? Like he had a secret son?
No,
doesn't Wilhelmina?
She eventually finds her father and rescues him. But over the course of the movie, she's really grown a lot, especially solving the puzzles to get to him. So he gives her the family business, like officially. He's like, "Oh, you've grown so much."
So you're gender swapping Wonka.
Yes, she's now the star. He's William Wonka, and like it's sort of a wink and a nod of like, "Oh, he's Willy Wonka," but being Wilhelmina Wonka, she is now the one that will be the lead.
Okay.
In future products.
So now knowing that she's who you chose for Willy Wonka, I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it. I think it's a terrible choice for Willy Wonka.
I disagree.
Keke Palmer is terrible.
I don't care. You know her from a meme, and that is it. That's not fair. And Hustlers, which you don't even remember probably anything of, but especially not her character, because she was literally a bit role or a side role, like not quite as small as Cardi B's character, but she wasn't a main character in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, yeah, you had. I thought when you started saying her name, I thought you were gonna go with what's her name, Kelsey Clemens, um,
I,
from
I
Hearts
don't
Beat Loud.
I don't know this woman. Oh, I do know
Yes,
her
you
from
do.
Hearts Beat Loud. Yeah.
She's a
I didn't think she was a
oh,
great actress in that movie.
Kersey. What?
Can you explain what Lisa's saying to me of
I mean,
Chloe or
she's
Hallie?
also what?
I don't know who
Oh,
Chloe
those are
or Hallie
two.
is.
Those are they're younger. They're Disney Channel stars. Hallie is playing Little Mermaid. They're
Oh,
also
okay.
singers. I
Keke
like them
Palmer
better
is a
just
Disney
because
star
I.
singer.
But here's my thing about Keke Palmer that I keep coming back to is she's a fucking idiot, and I don't care for her. So like it's I've only seen the only stuff I've seen of Keke Palmer is she has been an idiot. So I don't want to. I don't like her for Wonka at all. Wonka's supposed to be, and you're going with weird, crazy. Wonka's supposed to be whimsical, you know,
What do you mean weird,
like
crazy? It is
because the
whimsical.
last time they went, because the thing is like with Keke Palmer being like crazy, like oh, like I can just imagine her just be like, I don't know this man or some bullshit, and then I feel like that's the worst version of Wonka, which is the Johnny Depp Wonka.
Okay. First of all, this is clearly a third version of Wonka. This is not related to the other two. It would not make any sense for her to be Willy Wonka, who becomes Gene Wilder. Secondly, it is whimsical. The jungle is literally basically Candyland. It's a Candyland jungle.
Yeah, you honestly had me the whole way until
Until we
Keke
got to the
Palmer
point where you
is the
have
deaf
no
man for
idea
me.
who Kiki
Honestly,
Palmer
anyone
is.
else, if it was anyone else, I would say okay. Let's go. I don't want to go next. You go next because I started the last one.
Okay, fine.
So what's your next movie?
My next movie,
So everyone in the chat, thank you for agreeing. Hold on, real quick. Everyone in the chat, thank you for agreeing that that I had the better choice, obviously, because
one
mine.
person has agreed, which is Lisa Rogers, Dr. Lisa Rogers, who said sorry, Josh.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it's a yeah.
but she also
Anyone
says
else out
oh
there wants
burn
to?
Pat, which I believe was me burning you.
Oh wait, no, I think it's me burning you. I guess.
No, I'm gonna believe the other way.
Hey, can someone Lisa
And then
clarify? Okay, go ahead. What's
Laser Pilot says a valid argument when I was explaining how my movie would work. So the
the
unfortunate
laser
thing,
pilot's wrong?
okay,
Go ahead.
the unfortunate thing
So
about
what's
my
your next one?
pitches, I'm getting to the next one.
Okay,
The
sorry.
unfortunate thing about it is that it has a somewhat similar.
It's all Kiki Palmer.
Oops, all Kiki. No, it has a similar, a very small similar concept. So Lisa says Pat burned Josh, and I hate that.
Oh!
So
Here I go again on
my
my
next
own.
one is a Jumanji prequel. So this one takes place.
Okay, which Jumanji?
Well, they all take place in the same universe.
But are you doing a prequel to
Are you
the
saying? Are
newer
you asking if
movies?
I'm doing a prequel to the video game but post the board game?
Yes,
I am not. I'm doing pre the original
because there is
'90s
that
one.
because there is a thing with like the Jonas brother Colin Hanks has like a whole adventure in the middle
Yeah,
that we don't
I'm
see.
not doing that. I'm not interested in that.
Okay,
Uh,
I understand. That makes sense.
hello Blair. Laser Pilot is Blair.
Oh, okay, great.
And Lisa Rogers says it's all a kiki, honey. So I'm doing a board game version of Jumanji,
Solid key.
and my title is Jumanji Roll the Dice.
Full stop. Love this title.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the title.
Absolutely love it.
I'm very proud of all my titles. My last one's probably my weakest. I like Wonka Everlasting. I like Jumanji Roll the Dice.
So I think Wonka Everlasting. The problem with the title for the Wonka Everlasting
It's You Think of Tuck Everlasting.
instantly.
Well, I'm
And
not going to
I don't
call it
think I'm going to be
Wonka
alone with that.
Gobstoppers. Although
No, no,
that's
no, no.
not
But I feel
bad
like
for like
maybe
a
even
cartoon TV show.
I would say honestly, what would help there, Josh, is I think if you swap them around, where it's the everlasting Willy Wonka, or you
Everlasting
know,
Wonka.
yeah, something like that. Just because
I guess. But I
Wonka
also don't
Everlasting,
hate the Tuck
not a,
Everlasting comparison. I don't know.
They're nothing
Anyways,
alike, though.
they don't need to be.
I think if it was close.
I mean, fucking Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is nothing like Guns N' Roses.
And it's a terrible title.
It is. Uh,
So you're in bad company. Honestly, Roll the Dice is such a great title.
Dr. Lisa Rogers has said, I think it should be Roll the Dice, bitch. So Jumanji, Roll the Dice, bitch.
All right, go ahead. Let me hear your pick.
Laser Pilot picked up on something. So in my image, I have Jumanji, subtitle Roll the Dice, and the background photo is Museum of Natural History. And Laser Pilot said, "Is that the Museum of Natural History in London?" Plot hit? Question mark. So it is Natural History Museum. I did not realize this was the London one. I just searched for Natural History Museum. I think I even put in New York, but it just came up with this image at a good resolution, and I said, "Yeah, this is fun." But thank you for noticing that. So this movie takes place in 1869. Which is
Cool.
two things. Three things, I guess. The first thing being cool. The second thing being the year that the New York Natural History Museum opened in America, in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing being the year that the 1995 Jumanji movie starts. Because it starts with the scene of the two boys going and burying the board. And then saying, like, oh, whoever finds this, God help them. This is about those two. So
Fireworks, love it.
Jumanji Roll the Dice starts with Arthur Sproul, and Sproul is their last name from the Jumanji wiki page. Arthur Sproul, played by Tom Hiddleston, guest starring Tom Hiddleston, I should say.
Okay.
Don't get too excited. Is toiling away, looking for artifacts in the jungle. He finds the game board and is drawn to it, stealing it for himself before handing it over with the other artifacts he found. So he handed over the other artifacts. He's going to study this one a bit before he hands it over. He's drawn to it magically. He has two sons, which play the two boys from the original one from the prologue scene. The two sons are Caleb and Benjamin Sproul, played by Noah Loop from Honey Boy.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
He plays the older brother, which is Caleb. And then Benjamin, played by Jackson Robert Scott, who played Georgie in It. And Bode Locke in Lock and Key.
Cool.
So,
I like both those actors.
Arthur returns from his trip to his two boys who have been staying with his sister. They're overjoyed to see their dad again. He keeps the game hidden from them because he wishes to study it himself a bit. In doing so, he accidentally releases a piece on the board and it jumps to the starting place. And he eyes it curiously and we cut away. The brothers are spending time with their neighbor, Emma, who's played by Daphne Keane, who was X-23 in Logan.
And the star of Dark Materials.
It's implied that Caleb has a crush on her. Emma mentions that she would love
that fucking skank.
Emma mentions that she's bored and would love to play a game. Benjamin excitedly tells her, "Oh, my dad just brought a game home." And Caleb's embarrassed. He's like, "No, we don't have to go home." He's embarrassed that his dad's like an archaeologist who's always dirty and like weird. But Emma seems into it. So they go back to his house and they find the board. But where's Arthur? Huh, that's weird. Dad's gone missing. And you see the dice are on the board and his piece seems to have moved.
Where did he go?
Caleb's like, "Hey, we should talk to Dad. Dad doesn't want us touching this." But Benjamin just puts pieces in their hands. He's like, "No, it's fine. Let's start." And Caleb just like sort of like tosses his piece onto the board because he's like, "No, we really shouldn't." And he tosses the piece and it snaps into place at the starting spot. And the game has begun. Title credits, Jumanji Roll the Dice. The movie follows the three children as they hide and fight jungle creatures that are brought into the 1869 New Hampshire world they live in. There's some falling out, but eventually they realize that the father, Arthur, has become trapped in the game, so they continue playing in the hopes of rescuing him. And that's Jumanji Roll the Dice.
I like it a lot. I would move it out of New Hampshire. And maybe...
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where it literally specifically starts in New Hampshire, the first movie. because the prologue ends with
No,
them
I think
being
the
like, "Oh, Brantford, New Hampshire. This is where we are." And I didn't want to put it in New Hampshire either, but
oh, that's right.
because
I thought it was because I thought they got like it gets swept up in the water,
yeah, I wanted it to
but
be
I was like, oh, just have
1869
it
New
like a
York.
coast town.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like put it out in Long Island, and then he has to travel in or like Connecticut or something like that,
yeah.
and then they bury it at a beach and then
I,
it
I
swept
thought
out to
about doing
sea.
that, especially with the
But
museum opening that year. I was thinking maybe they find it in the museum when they're with their dad. Um, but then the issue would be, why would they go all the way to New Hampshire to bury the board at the start of the 1995 movie?
I would say honestly, let's not worry about that as much and just like have them bury it out at the beach in Long Island or something. Because I think this is a great idea. This is a lot of fun. Honestly, it's so much more fun than the second
So
Jumanji, the third Jumanji movie.
I agree. Two things. First, Laser Pilot says New Hampshire fits the all-white cast, which I want to say
Love it.
I tried so hard not to make them all white in this movie. But because the two characters, Benjamin and Caleb, exist from the original Jumanji movie, I couldn't do much about that or their parent. It is also 1869, as you know, and Daphne Keene is not white; she is Hispanic.
Yeah,
And that was why I
I
tried
think
to
she's
like,
Argentinian.
yeah, I tried to put a diverse female character in there as well. None of my movies succeed the Bechdel test, not by design,
Yeah,
but
none of all
by
my movies
accident.
are. One of my movies probably is it fails it hard. But yeah, no, I like this a lot.
Uh,
I like where your head's at with it.
some other comments we've gotten: Dr. Lisa Rogers, best choice for Lyra. What a fantastic show.
Oh, I
Um,
love Dark Materials. Yeah.
yeah, regarding Daphne Keene. Um, Laser Pilot says those dirty colonizers gonna get punished Jumanji style, which
Yeah.
I agree. Some of the creatures they get, there's gonna be a marketable creature that comes out of the thing, because every movie needs like a marketable plush toy. So a creature is gonna come out that they're not gonna be attacked by, but they're gonna have to like keep under wraps. And there's gonna be some riddle about like this creature will be a nuisance. But they'll just like hide
Yeah.
it from people, and it'll be fun and cute.
Yeah, and then he helps, and then he ends up helping and
Yeah,
like becoming their friend.
yeah.
I love that.
The last
Make it a
thing they
baby,
can't
like
reach the
a
dice, and then it like tosses them the dice. It'll be cute.
yeah.
But so while I
I
was looking
I
this
love
up,
it.
thank you. While I was
Hmm.
looking this up, when I was searching for Caleb and Benjamin Sproul online, something I found is that there is an unofficial prequel set in 1869 that is already coming out. Like some like person who's decided they're going to take their money and make a prequel and get sued later. But it's called Jumanji Level 1, and I fucking hate that title. It's also,
I
it
hate
seems
it.
very much like a Salem Witch Trials witch hunt thing. Because one of the pictures I saw was like a group of people holding up the board, and it was like sucking something into it, and they were all like townsfolk at
Oh,
a
is it
witch
like
hunt.
a fan made film?
Yeah, it's a fan film.
It's like a fan film.
Yeah,
Okay.
my film imagines if it had budget. But yeah, that's Jumanji.
Yeah.
Roll the
So Tom
dice.
Hiddleston gets sucked in.
Yeah, so he's barely
So
in the
does Tom
movie.
Hiddleston get sucked in? Oh, you know what'd be really fun though is if he becomes a hunter from the next one.
I thought about that maybe happening. Um, yeah, but I also don't want to turn him into a monster because then they're rescuing a monster or they're trying to rescue a monster. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm happy with what I ended up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Um, my knuckles. All right. My next one is based on a little movie called Jaws, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the U.S. Indianapolis. Um, everyone's seen the movie Jaws, and if you haven't seen the movie Jaws, you're what we in the business like to call pathetic. A pathetic, fat, bearded piece of shit wearing your dumb daddy hat like a fucking idiot. Or just didn't have the time and you'll get around to it someday. One of the two, but you're only one of the two. Um, yeah, so this is a prequel. In the movie Jaws, the one of the, I think the bigger moments of the movie is this Indianapolis speech where they're all drunk and they're bonding over, all their scars that they have, and Quint mentions the fact that he was on the Indianapolis and tells a story of how they were transporting the U-bomb and they were attacked, and they, because it was so secretive and undercover, they no one came to rescue them in time, so they're all just trapped in the water, and the sharks started coming. And the reason why he hunts sharks is because he saw all these men like being eaten. So the majority of the film
He hunts
stars
sharks. Sorry, I don't
what
mean to interrupt. He hunts sharks in the movie
in
in
Jaws.
Jaws.
He's a shark hunter. That's why he comes in.
Okay, I
That's
just
why they
didn't know
hired
that.
Quint.
I didn't know that was a job. I thought they hired him because he was just like a good fisherman or something. I've played the board game. That's it.
No, he's a shark hunter.
Okay.
It's what he does is he goes out and he hunts shark. I mean, he hunts fish, but his big thing is he does sharks and stuff.
By the way, I think we have some
So
fat bearded men with daddy hats in the chat because Laser Pilot and Lisa Rogers have both not seen Jaws.
Oh yeah, I didn't say bearded.
You did say bearded.
I don't think I said bearded.
Roll the tape back. You're gonna have to edit this on YouTube. Roll that tape back,
Oh,
Patrick.
no, and I have to roll the tape back. Okay. Anyway, so anyway, the yeah, so it's
Love you.
Sam Quint.
Thank
the,
you, Anonymous Goblin, for the donation. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh
That is my first donation I've ever gotten on this channel.
What?
Yeah.
Anonymous Goblin.
Very appreciated, Anonymous Goblin. That's so
Wow,
kind.
thank you so much. But if you ever fucking interrupt me again, I'll come for your.
They're
thing.
speaking to you, not me.
I'm kidding. Oh, they're giving you the money.
Oh no, they
Is
gave
it money? What's
So yes, there's follows, subscriptions, bits, stuff like that. Donation is they clicked on my donation link and donated to my PayPal. $5.
great? So someone saw this and was like, "Yeah, you need $5 for this." Anyway, back to
Yes, and they also said
I'm like torturing. Is
they also said love you when they posted it. There's a text to
Oh.
speech thing, and they said love you. It was very sweet. Thank you, Bearded Goblin.
oh, do you know Anonymous Goblin or
Or
is
not?
that your mother?
I said Bearded Goblin because I just saw Bearded in the chat. Thank you,
No,
Anonymous
you said
Goblin.
Yeah.
Anonymous Goblin's their name. I just now said Bearded because Dr. Lisa Rogers said in all caps, he said Bearded. So no, don't bother rolling back the
Okay.
tape.
All right.
What are you gonna call a doctor a liar
Yeah.
during COVID? We gotta trust all doctors. Hashtag trust all doctors.
She's not that kind of doctor. She's not that kind of doctor. All right. So anyway, yeah, please don't go to her with all your your COVID needs. But anyway, so this is it's about Sam Quint, who he's in the military. It takes place in 1945, and they're bringing the A bomb to Japan. The thing blows up, and the majority of the film is them in the water, and it's like a good old fashioned war film. This is directed by Paul Greengrass, who famously directed the Bourne movies. He did United 93. He did Greenland, whatever that movie was a while back. The one about the shooting in Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like July something. Anyway, yeah. So this is that movie, and it stars as a young Quint, Taron Egerton. He'll be playing a young Quint, because Quint's supposed to be about like 20, 22,
I do love Taron Egerton
in this. Yeah, I also think that he can handle playing Quint, because the thing too is Quint is a drunk, gruff son of a bitch in Jaws. But what you learn from that speech in the movie is the reason why he did this, and the reason why he's so big is because he's seen this horrible thing. They've seen so many people die in front of him by these fucking sharks, and that's the reason why he truly hates them. And I just would love to see, like, unlike Solo, where like you don't want to see the Kessel Run because you don't know if it's real or not. Like the Indianapolis thing really happened, and he explains everything in the movie. And I would love to see, like, man, there's this great moment in the speech where he talks about, he's now been floating for about a day or two, and he looks over and he sees one of his friends, and he goes over and he pulls him up, and he pulls him over, and he realizes that he's missing his bottom half, and he just been snapped in half.
And you want to see that scene?
I want to. It's going to be so scary. I would love to see it, because also I'm thinking more in the line of like if this is like a Life of Pi kind of movie, where it's literally just like that vastness of like the fear of just being left out there. You can have dream sequences and all the stuff. Yeah, I would love to see this. I would love to see this. Also, it is implied in Jaws that Quint is queer. Um, I would love to see that in more detail. I would love to see
He has a
Quint
lover,
just,
and it's the guy he pulls out, and there's only half, and it's the wrong half.
Yeah, that'd be great. You tell me that's not a good idea for a thing. Like he goes in
I'm
third
on
act,
board.
he goes and finds his friend.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So yeah, and I also, man, I love the movie Jaws, and I always want another cool like shark attack movie. And I think this is a thing that actually happened. One, it's a real event, and two, it's like man, can you just imagine all the different types of sharks that like swim? It's gonna be like they swarm, and then all the cool shots of like sharks underneath water swarming around. Oh my god, I'm excited! And plus, you have that war movie factor, which I love war movies.
Yeah.
Now I'm upset.
Do you have
I've upset myself.
Do you have a director in
because
mind
I
for this one?
genuinely want this? Yeah, Paul Greengrass. I said it.
Oh right. What has he directed? I don't know the name.
He's directed the Bourne movies. He's directed United 93. So you weren't paying attention when I said this before. The Bourne movies, United 93.
I think it's when we got interrupted, but yes. Again, okay. Very, very happy for that interruption. Very grateful.
I'm fucking not. Take it back.
Lisa says, "Calm down, Patrick." But I'm on board. I mean, I loved Taron Egerton. I'd watch him in most things, and even without the queerness element, I would love to see. Well, the things that I've seen, I should say. I love him in most things because I haven't seen everything he's in. But yeah, I'm on board.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so cool. That's my pitch for a Jaws prequel.
Sounds good.
Do you want me to go again, or do you want to go?
Yeah, you go again.
Me again?
You again.
So my third pick, I struggled with a bit because I had a bunch of ideas. My first idea, because I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna do?" So I was like, my first pick was to do a Back to the Future prequel about Doc Brown. But honestly, you know what I don't want? It's a Back to the Future prequel about Doc Brown, because Doc Brown's a fun side character. I don't know if I would love Doc Brown not being able to play off someone for a whole movie, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, we get sort of a Doc Brown prequel in the first Back to the Future movie. They go back and they meet him when he's younger, and they explain more of his background. So I don't think we need another Doc Brown prequel. My second choice then after that was I wanted maybe like a Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gandalf. Why can't I say that? A Gandalf prequel. But two reasons why I didn't want that. One, man, that again, another thing where I'm like, I don't really want that, you know? And two, they're doing that actually sort of with the Lord of the Rings prequel that just got announced that Amazon's doing.
Yeah.
They're doing a bunch of it happens, I think, 100 years before the Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Probably won't watch it.
So Gandalf will be in it because he's, thousands of years old. Yeah. I mean, have you even seen the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Have you seen all the Hobbit movies?
I've seen the first one. Just the first
I haven't
one.
seen all the Hobbit movies.
I haven't either. I think
you saw the first one. I saw the first two.
At this point, there are fan edits out there that are apparently good versions of it. I think I'm just going to watch a fan edit to make it tolerable, because I've heard that
Yeah, what's his name? The dude who plays Venom in Spider-Man 3. What's his name?
Topher Grace.
He was also in That 70s Show. Topher Grace did a fan edit of the Hobbit movies, and they're like an hour and 25 minutes or something like that. And I hear it's fantastic, but of course he can't legally put it out, so it's one of those things that he just does for fun. He'll just edit movies. Because he also edited the prequels into one long movie that's like a 3-hour movie.
Lisa Rogers says Ganondorf, and also a younger, hipper Gandalf. Is that what we're getting in your movie? Yeah,
like a cool Gandalf, just like his sunglasses come down. So anyway, so those are movies I'm not doing, because this is my last pick of the night. I wanted to do something that I genuinely think would be fun to watch, like I would enjoy, and I went with. I just gotta remember what the title was real quick. Hold on.
I have it here if you'd like.
No. That's what it is. Okay. I went with Beetlejuice Begins, which is a prequel to Beetlejuice. I love Beetlejuice, the movie. The movie, not the musical. The musical sucks, but the movie's great. I love the movie Beetlejuice. I watched it recently because of I saw the musical on Broadway. I didn't like it. I'm like, don't I remember liking the movie? So I rewatched it. I'm like, oh no, I really like the Beetlejuice movie. I would love it to. So basically, how this would work too is because Beetlejuice was never technically alive. He's a poltergeist, and he's a demon, so
Lisa's
he's not
already
a
on
ghost.
board, by the way.
So this Beetlejuice, well, stay on board because I'm getting to it. So this Beetlejuice, it's more about him as a young demon trying to become a full-on poltergeist, and basically trying to be the ultimate, you know, ghost with the most kind of thing. So I would love, yeah, I would love that. And then I want my young Beetlejuice to be played by Jason Sudeikis. Um, all the characters from the first one would be in it. Not, I'm sorry, none of the characters from the first one would be it, except for like the waiting room ghosts. I would love to see some backstory with those guys. Um, I want to start this movie too, where Beetlejuice is a poltergeist who works in middle management at this kind of like he basically people come in, the recently dead come in, and then he basically welcomes them into the real world, and then he just hates it because it's so boring because he has to follow the manual, and then it's basically him breaking out and realizing that he doesn't have to follow the rules, that he still has all his powers if he breaks the rules, and then him becoming and then realizing that if he becomes a poltergeist he can do whatever he wants, and then that goes into like him, and then he gets banished at the end of it, and then that's when he gets cursed with someone has to say his name 3 times, and then he gets locked away, and then we get the Beetlejuice movie. Also, I think Jason Sudeikis is a perfect choice for Beetlejuice.
I agree,
because Beetlejuice, of course, is Michael Keaton, but I had a few people who I was like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. My first choice for Beetlejuice was who plays Arthur on The Tick?
Griffin Newman.
Griffin Newman was my first choice as Beetlejuice because I think, oh, he would be a lot of fun. But I want someone a little older because the thing too is like, because the thing what's great about Beetlejuice and like having it like be a live action film is that even though it's not Michael Keaton, it doesn't matter because he's under a ton of makeup. One, and then two, I don't think it needs to. Since it's supposed to be a younger version, it doesn't need to be younger necessarily. He just because Beetlejuice really doesn't need to change form. I think it'll be a ton of fun. I think Jason Sudeikis will have fun with this role. The other person I thought who might be fun is Bill Hader, and that's how I got to Sudeikis because I'm like maybe Bill Hader, but I think Jason Sudeikis can play that fucking smarmy douchebag, and he can still do the voice, throw your voice and impress your friends, stuff like that. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I think it'll be a blast.
Laser Pilot has a question for
I think
you.
it'll be a lot of fun. Yes.
Laser Pilot asks, "Does Beetlejuice have a lost love interest?"
No, he doesn't. I don't like when they like throw in on. I don't think he needs a romantic lead in this. I think he's so selfish. I do think he should have a mother. I think his mother should be in this, and I think can be more of like a he's trying to impress his mother. The one thing in the musical I did like is that one of the characters in the movie, who's the receptionist, who's like the manager of the people coming in to the afterlife, that person turns out to be Beetlejuice's mother, and the reason why she's so hard on him is because it's his mother, and she's embarrassed by him, and I think that will really help play into his antics. Also, I want some little. Oh, I'm sorry, I never mentioned the director. This version is directed by Taika Waititi.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't want Tim Burton because Tim Burton.
I especially love Taika
Tim
in this
Burton,
because Taika will have a very fun side character in it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is gonna voice the shrunken head guy. We all know this.
Perfect.
Why are we pretending he's not gonna? I could just imagine.
I have a question. The movie's very much about like himself and trying to impress his mom and stuff. Is there an antagonist, or is the antagonist sort of himself, like getting in his own way?
The antagonist is society,
Okay.
the ghost society. The antagonist
is there someone who sort of
rules.
like is there someone who exemplifies the rules though?
Yes, his mother.
Okay.
That's his mother. His mother character is the person who is his manager, also who got him the job.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I feel like first act we can get into it where he's like not good at his job, and then sort of going into second act they tell him like, oh, you have to like be stricter, and then he gets really good at it, and he realizes that even though he's really good at it now, he really has no purpose and hates it.
Do
And
you have
then
an
he sees
actress for
another
his mother?
ghost. Yeah, Margot Martindale.
Ooh, good choice.
Character actress Margot Martindale.
Good choice.
Because if anyone's gonna play a mother, it's Margot Martindale. And then I want him to see someone who is a poltergeist who's not following by the rules get like taken into custody kind of thing. We're like, oh, we got this guy, he broke out again, and then he can go in. And I think that'd be fun if that is a cameo. It's a small part cameo from Michael Keaton playing this other poltergeist, who then Beetlejuice ends up walking by and going like, so what happened with you? Why are you captured? He goes, oh, kid, because I don't play by the rules. If there's one thing I can tell you about the afterlife, is all this doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. And then he can then he realizes that he can do more than just punch numbers. He can summon, he can make his hands big. So he can scare people. And that's what he really finds pleasure. It's, yeah. And that's I think it'll be like real fun. I also think it should be darker than I feel like if they ever do a sequel, they'll water down Beetlejuice. I think he should be a real creepy son of a bitch.
Yeah,
you know,
the first
like
one had some truly terrifying
I think it's
moments.
funnier. Yeah, no, I'm also talking about like him being like a gross guy, like a gross, bad guy. He's not a good guy. I don't want this to be at the end. I don't want this to be end like, oh, he's the hero here. No, he's the bad guy. I want this to be the falling down of supernatural films.
Okay.
Where you shouldn't root for the guy at the end.
You want him to get me
kind of like the Joker. I want this to be the Joker of Beetlejuice. Yes, I think he should be Me Too. Okay, so that is my Beetlejuice Begins movie. Do you like my graphic for the Beetlejuice title?
I do. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's got like weird coloring.
Do I have any other comments or questions in the chat?
Thank
you.
Not really. Laser Pilot says, trick question, he's in love with himself. Lisa says, yes, Taika. Agreed, Patrick. Character actress, question mark, but I believe she was suggesting you pick a character actress for his mother, but she got there too late after you had already said that.
Not only did I pick the character actress, I picked the world's greatest character actress. Character actress
Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
Lisa Rogers says,
which is it's a joke from BoJack. Thank you. What's that? Hold on, I'm getting a phone call from Universal. What's that? Oh, it's about my car insurance. Anyway, go on.
Why is Universal calling you about your car insurance?
Okay.
Because
listen, I don't got good car insurance.
My final one is for a movie that we all saw and we all loved, and we've all said, man, I want more of that. And then we got more of it when we got a sequel. And then I didn't see that sequel, but I would love to make a prequel for it. So here's my pitch for a Goosebumps prequel called Goosebumps Origin of Fear.
I love it.
So this takes place.
Can I say real quick that you and I love the Goosebumps movie?
We do, I think, partly because we went into it with such negative, low expectations. So incredibly
really low negative expectations. I think we were also drunk, I think we had drinks before, so we went in buzzed.
We had drinks. I don't think we brought drinks in for that one.
No, but we had drinks before. I think we had
for sure.
We had just had like a few drinks, and then we went and saw it. And we're like, this is fucking great. And I've seen it since, and I think you own it also.
I own it. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's a good, honestly, great family film.
Yes.
Go on.
I want to say thank you, Schoolby. Schoolby has followed me. Thank you, Schoolby.
Thank you, Schoolby. I will say it's out of the two Jack Black family-friendly horror movies, it's better than The House with the Cock and the Balls. So I love Goosebumps.
Yeah, the only scene in that I loved, I hated when he turned into a baby. The only scene I loved was the I'm Indomitable scene with Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible scene. But other than that, meh.
But Goosebumps is great.
Yeah, so Goosebumps was great. And I've made this title card that I'm very proud of. So the plot of this one You may notice from the
Yeah.
image, which is very 1950s. Well, I'm talking to chat. 1950s classroom. This is set in the 1950s, like mid 1950s, when young R.L. Stein was a boy. So you may remember that young R.L. Stein, or R.L. Stein in the Goosebumps movie, was played by Jack Black.
Yeah, just in case people haven't seen Goosebumps,
Yes.
Can you give them a little quick summary?
Yeah. So in Goosebumps, in the movie that came out a few years ago, the main character is moving to this small town that he hates because he's leaving the city for it, and he's moving with his mom.
Yeah, no, I meant just how R.L. Stein works in this movie.
So monsters, his neighbor's weird, and his name's R.L. Stein, and he realizes, oh, it's the writer of the Goosebumps books. And they go in, they find his books, they open it, and the monsters come out of the books and start attacking the city. It's crazy. And then they have to work with R.L. Stein, played by Jack Black, to recapture the monsters into the books. And he says that the characters...
Yeah, it turns out in this universe... that R.L. Stein uses a magic typewriter, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That when the reason why his characters are so scary is because he creates them into existence and then traps them in books. So when you're reading a book, you're reading actually about the monster. And I love that thing. And Jack Black played R.L. Stein.
And
so what's your...
And in addition to that, the reason he mentions that these monsters exist in the first place was because he didn't have any friends growing up. So the monsters were his friends. And this is my basically exploration of that through this story, Origin of Fear. So in this movie, young Jack Black, set back in the 1950s, is being played by Archie Yates from Jojo Rabbit. The chubby kid with the glasses. And this image, you'll see it later, but this image that chat can see, it's a spitting image. They have the glasses. They have the same like smirk on their face almost. Jack Black less so, quite less of a smirk. But so this movie is about young Bobby Stein, as he will be referred to, played by Archie Yates. He's constantly ridiculed at his school for being scared of tons of things. He's a little wuss. He's a little wuss boy. Lisa Rogers says, I'm into this. Archie Yates is amazing. Schoolby says, accurate for the design. So he's constantly ridiculed at school for being afraid of everything. His biggest bully is played by another actor you may recognize. But before we get to that, his bully is named Steve, as a nod to Stephen King.
Okay, cool.
The bully is played by someone going very out of their comfort zone, I think, because we haven't, even searching for this name and then the word angry, it was hard to find a picture of them being angry because they're just such a charmer all the time. His bully is played by Jacob Tremblay.
I knew it. The second you say, well, he's out of character, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Jacob Tremblay?
Of course it's Jacob Tremblay. He's great. So
everyone's favorite victim.
Yes. Bobby's biggest bully is Jacob Tremblay. In order to cope with having no friends, he becomes friends with not Steve, but Bobby becomes friends with a praying mantis that he catches, and he keeps it in his desk. Steve Wood, which is...
I love that. I already love that.
That he keeps the praying mantis in his desk? Or just the praying mantis?
Yeah, because that's a reference, right?
Yeah, it is.
The praying mantis reference, I love.
Yeah, and there's more references to come. Steve Wood, which is his full name, sees the praying mantis one day and deliberately releases it to piss Bobby off. I was going to have him kill it, but that's a little too dark, I think, because you wouldn't be able to have him get redeemed later. Hint, hint. But he releases the praying mantis, which causes Bobby to freak out. The teacher sees him freak out, but doesn't see Jacob Tremblay do this, so he sends him to the principal's office, where he meets Joe, played by Kylie Curran, who was Abra in Dr. Sleep. So we have another Dr. Sleep person. So Abra...
Oh, that's right. Jacob Tremblay was also in Dr. Sleep.
Yes. You literally said everyone's favorite victim.
Oh, that's right. I was just saying that for bad reasons. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. So Bobby meets Joe, which is this character's name. Joe, J-O, is played by Kylie Curran. She's a new student, and she's reading a book, and Bobby asks, "Oh, is it any good?" And she says, "Yeah, it's very scary." And he's like, "Oh, I don't like scary stories. I'm scared." And she's like, "Well, that's what I love about scary books is that they make the real world less frightening." And he's just like, "Oh, maybe." And he sort of ponders that. And he goes home, and in order to make him feel better, his mom has gotten him a typewriter as a gift to be like, "Hey, you should cheer up. Here, write some stuff." Which goes well with the fact that his principal encouraged him, like, "You should write a journal. Like, I understand you're frustrated. You should write a journal." So he takes this typewriter and he starts like journaling his life, and he talks about his praying mantis and how he misses it. And his mom says something in the kitchen, and he looks away. And when he looks back, the praying mantis is now walking across the typewriter, and typing about it has brought it back. And he realizes sort of what he can do with this typewriter. And a lot of it's just like kooky shenanigans where throughout the movie he'll summon monsters to like mess with his friends. And the first act is like very simple, silly stuff. But towards the beginning of the second act, he decides to get a little more serious. And he writes this story, or this short fiction, about a ventriloquist dummy based on Jacob Tremblay's look, named Mr. Wood, to make fun of Steve Wood. And Mr. Wood begins to get violent. And then he has to team up with Steve and Joe to capture Mr. Wood, who has gone and caused a lot of issues throughout town. Mr. Wood, you may recognize the reference, was from the original Night of the Living Dummy. He was the actual antagonist of the first Slappy story, whereas Slappy was actually not a monster until the very end of it, as the twist. But Mr. Wood was the antagonist, and as this is a prequel to the ones where Slappy was the antagonist, I thought it'd be fun to do a callback and have Mr. Wood.
I love that.
And that's Goosebumps Origin of Fear.
That's fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah. And I didn't get a picture of her, but Vera Farmiga plays his mom.
Of course she does.
Of course she does.
Vera Farmiga, of course she does.
She plays everyone's mom.
We got Margot Martindale in one ring, Vera Farmiga in the other. I love this. I have a question for you.
Yes.
And then I would like you to ask the same question to me after.
Okay.
Which one of my pitches would you want to see the most?
So having not seen Jaws, as much as I like that pitch and want to see that pitch, or want to see that movie, having not seen Jaws, I can't rightfully pick that one. So I think I'm going to go with Beetlejuice, just because I love the idea of Jason Segel as, or Jason Sudeikis. Jason S. comedian. Jason Sudeikis as Beetlejuice. I love that so much. I would love to see that.
Funny that you brought up Jason Segel, though. Jason Segel was almost my choice for Willy Wonka.
Interesting choice.
For me, I would love to see your Goosebumps movie.
Yeah, Goosebumps Origin of Fear.
You know?
So originally, as I was writing the pitch, the actor I almost picked instead of Archie Yates, which I'm very glad I landed on that instead. But I was looking at actors, and I almost picked the kid from It, the chubby kid from It.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I forget his name.
I like the Jojo Rabbit kid better.
So do I. But I almost put him, and then I remembered, oh, he's in Goosebumps 2. He's one of the two kids in Goosebumps 2. So it doesn't really make sense if I had him as young Jack Black.
That's so funny. Man, this was fun. This was great.
This was a lot of fun.
What do you guys think in the chat? Anything fun in the chat being said?
No, I think they're just enraptured by the ideas. So not much talking going on. Schoolbee says this gives me Drawfee vibes, but for movie pitches, I like it. And then all caps, that's cool. Yes.
What's Drawfee?
Drawfee is I know very little about them, but from what I've seen, they're a channel that does like draw Pokemon from memory and stuff like that. But then they do it live, like without any preparation, or like it's a lot of off the cuff stuff.
Oh, is that Nathan's thing?
I don't know who Nathan is. Hello, Brandon.
Yeah, I think it's Nathan. I know him.
Okay.
Hi, Brandon. Yeah, Nathan and I used to do comedy together back when he did stand up and back when the world was alive. So yeah.
Schoolby says, yeah, you pretty much nailed the explanation. Dr. Lisa Rogers says, this is a fun stream. We'll keep tuning in. This is going to happen nearly every Thursday,
Ooh, yeah.
guys.
Speaking of keep tuning in.
Definitely tune in. We're
every
gonna
Thursday.
do this every
Next
Thursday.
Next Thursday is an exciting one. It's our birthday week. Josh and I are both born 3 days apart.
Yes.
Did I freeze? Or are you just not moving?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I got an
froze?
important text. No, you're good. I got an important text message that I was reading.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's okay.
Next week's going to be very exciting.
I don't have to leave
next week. Oh,
sorry.
Can I finish?
Yeah, sorry. There's a delay with the Zoom, so it's frustrating.
Jesus Christ. So anyway, next week's very exciting. It's our birthday week. We were born 3 days apart. And since it's our birthday week, we're going to do something a lot of fun. We're doing Muppets movies. So we're going fan casting Muppets into movies that we love.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil some of them, but I don't know if you saw the list that I put up in our private thing. I put up a list of hey, what about these movies?
Yeah.
One of them I'm not giving you an option. I'm not giving you an option on of like, hey, should we do this? We are gonna do Muppets in Scott Pilgrim, which I cannot wait for. I am most excited for the Muppets and Scott Pilgrim. So tune in next week where we do where we're gonna fan cast Muppets in the movies. Yeah.
It is gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be similar to this one, I think, where it's not us doing the same movie like in the first episode. We're gonna be doing like this is because Scott Pilgrim. We're gonna end up on the same choices, I think, and then similar to one of the other ones we did, which I won't spoil. But we're gonna end up with a lot of the same choices if we did movies. So we'll do different movies. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Yeah, thank you all for coming by. Thank you for the donation, guys. I really appreciate that. Anonymous Goblin, whoever you may be. I love you too. Schoolby, absolutely. Try to tune in next week. It's a lot of fun. Brandon, thank you for swinging by. It is ending, but you can catch this on Patrick's YouTube channel. The link is not anywhere, but the information is below his picture. The name to his YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, just search Not Pat Riley on YouTube. Yeah, so find that there. You can go watch the whole thing. Riley on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Let them know that this podcast is happening. Yeah, I'm going to do my outro now. Speaking of my YouTube. Yeah, let me finish my outro. So I can say goodbye. Do your outro, Jesus. Thank you all for coming by. My information's up top. Brooder Josh on YouTube. Now twitching for when you want updates for when this stream goes live. I play a lot of video games. I'm getting a good phone soon, so I might do some in real life streams where I just walk around the park or something and just chat with people. There's a Discord there. I'll also throw that in the Twitch chat. And if you're watching this on Facebook, come to the Twitch sometime. Every Thursday we do this. The Discord link does not want to come up, but you see the code. Patrick's going to do his outro now. Patrick, take us away. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in next week when we do other stuff. And like, subscribe, comment, and don't fucking die. That's it. Okay.